Hello. I'm really dehydrated, really sick, but I'm coming on here anyway because this is really important. I hope that you can hear me. I'll try to hold the camera a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm going to say some things that you're probably not going to hear anywhere else. So, I am absolutely devastated. Absolutely devastated. And in shock again, just like I was about Hillary. Um but yeah, so here's what you'll not hear anywhere else. All these assholes on TV are going to be lying and saying, why didn't Kamala win? And I know why she didn't win. First and foremost, Gaza. She didn't admit that it was a genocide. And being older, I'm willing to look over, fine schematics so you can't actually say that it's a genocide. You have to call it a war. But first and foremost, she said that she was on the side of Israel and she was going to help Israel win. That right there lost her the election. That right there lost her a lot of people that I know of, even though they're extremely liberal and progressive and Democrats. So many people that they turned away from her. That many more votes. That many more votes. If she just would have said, "Listen, we got to stop this. I'm not on Israel's side. We got to stop Israel and what it's doing. This is not okay." Just anything to that effect, it would have been better. Also, and this is coming from my own personal experience in my own life and in the lives of everyone around me, no one has the money to pay rent. Virtually, it is almost impossible to feed yourself, much less your kids. No one has the money for utilities. If you don't have the money for rent, you're not going to have the money for utilities, all right? She didn't admit to any of that. Instead, she said that jobs are at a record high. Jobs are not at a record high. I don't know anyone who has jobs at all. And the few people that do have jobs, not only are they being overworked, they're being underpaid. So, literally, the people that do have jobs are so underpaid, they're having to work two and three jobs. Now, who would vote for someone who doesn't even admit to that? Trump did get it right. He said this country is in the dumper. Now, he's blaming the country being in the dumper on, immigrants, the Mexicans. The Mexicans are stealing your jobs. No, no, no. These companies and businesses that are refusing to hire people who are legal Americans who they cannot abuse, because if you're a legal American, you have the status of being able to take this unethical, horrifically unethical business practice, and these businesses to court and say, look at what they did to me. You can at least drag them to court and make them go through court battles, especially if large amounts of Americans, are able to do that. But the reason that they want to hire immigrants is because they can abuse the heck out of those people, not pay them what they're worth, and then deny them paychecks and do have them work in horrific working conditions and not have to worry about it at all legally. And people are really upset about that. These businesses need to be held accountable, and neither party is fighting for getting these businesses to be held accountable. Trump, at least superficially, he's giving lip service to holding these businesses accountable. Kamala Harris didn't even acknowledge it. Biden didn't even acknowledge it. Instead, they said the economy is fantastic. Everybody's making bank. Every last person that I know of is not making bank. Every last person that I know of, the ones who actually are fully employed, they don't even have time to talk to anyone except to scream a few sentences on Twitter or X nowadays about how sucky everything is and how pissed they are. Because everything does suck. And everyone is pissed. Literally. Literally. You have to literally be, you know, trapped in order to even have time to make videos like this, which is why the chronically ill are making videos. Literally. And that's the other thing. Kamala and Biden and all them, they weren't admitting to large amounts of people being chronically ill, large amounts of families having to care for their chronically ill. They didn't admit to that. They didn't admit to the massive amount of chronically ill individuals in this nation now. There was so much that was wrong with their campaign, and I was being constantly silenced from literally my family members and the TV that they have on. And now today it's finally silent so I can speak. It's all finally dead so I can speak. And I finally have the freedom to speak. So I am. Kamala lost it because of Gaza. She lost it because no one has jobs at all. This country is in the dumper. Businesses are going to, they're hiring people who they can treat horrifically and take advantage of instead of hiring people, you know, hiring legal Americans who, they can't take advantage of and they can't treat horrifically and they can't deny them a paycheck, even if it's a shitty paycheck, even if it's a half a paycheck. They can't deny them pay, you know, but they can certainly do that to anyone who isn't, at least on paper, a citizen of the US. They can violate the heck out of them, you know, literally. It's not fair and it's completely wrong. And the Democrats refuse to even acknowledge these things. Plain and as simple as that. And they refuse to acknowledge that the price for everything is not only skyrocketing, but the amount that you're getting paid isn't enough to cover it. And that record number, record, and I'm going to speak to this in the next video, record numbers of families, whole families, children, women, fully married women with their husbands, husbands with their wives and their kids are out on the street. Whole families, not divorce situations either. Whole families, Christian families are out on the street. They're homeless because of the horrific job situation in this country. The horrific, non-existent job situation in this country. The whole point of those who are in power is to make everybody homeless, throw them in jail so that they can take away their rights, and then just rule the country carte blanche. And I'll talk more about this in the next video. But this is why Kamala didn't get in. Literally, point blank, that's it. You can disagree with me all you want, but go make your other video. I don't care. This is why she didn't get in. She didn't admit that Gaza was a genocide, that they need to stop Israel. Those two things right there. And she also didn't admit to the fact that rent, food, everything, the price of everything is skyrocketing. Jobs are non-existent. They're just flat out non-existent for everyone. And the few jobs that do exist out there don't pay you enough to even cover rent. So how the heck do you even have utilities on or pay for food without using credit cards and going in even worse debt than you already are? Literally. That is the state of everyone. And everyone is walking around sick and death itself because of, the crud that's going around, as they're calling it now. I don't trust TikTok. I'm cutting this off. I'll make another video. Give me a second.